Hello there and welcome to this holistic yoga video. In this short video we're going to look at how to sit in a chair. So we spend a lot of time sitting in chairs and we blame chairs for a lot, with sitting is the new smoking and sitting is dreadful for you. And it doesn't have to be dreadful for you. There is a way of sitting that can be comfortable, relaxing and easy on your skeleton and your back. So one thing to know is that you want to have your hips above your knees when you're sitting. So you might, if you've got very long legs, need 2 or 3 blocks. I definitely only need 1 block. Pop it on the chair. This also does a great thing, as if your chair's got a dent in the middle of it, or it slopes backwards, or it does weird things, then this yoga block will just level it out. The best kind of chair is one with a flat, level seat. Uncomplicated, like Victorian chairs. They had the right idea. So we're going to sit on the block. So actually I'm going to turn the chair around so you can see me sitting side on. And a way of sitting down into the chair, so often we'll sit into the chair, we'll crank our neck back and we'll kind of search back with our bum and sit into the chair, shortening our neck. And that's not the way to do it. Similar way that we get out of the chair is to crank the neck back and kind of drag ourselves up using our neck. So it takes a little bit of practice, but the way that we want to sit is by bending at our hips and keeping our whole spine straight. So it's a bit like you're doing a squat. Back of the neck is long, back of the waist is long, and you're sitting back into the chair. It might feel like, oh my God, am I going to hit the chair or am I just going to fall off at first? If you feel that, then you're doing it right. And you just need to take your feet a little bit closer into the chair to feel that you're going to land right. Once you've landed, you want to feel that your weight is on your sit bones, not on your tailbone. So I'm going to show you, this is me on my tailbone, this is me on my sit bones. Yeah, so my tailbone is slightly off and that enables my spine to lift up. If my tailbone is down, then I'm going to collapse into my lower back and round my back and squish all my abdominal organs and squish the discs at the front of the spine. It's not helpful. So this is the problem with sitting. Here's when we sit on our tailbone. If we can roll forwards in the pelvis and sit on the sit bones, then you're supporting your spine in a lovely lengthened way. So something to think about, particularly when you sit on a sofa, it's always going to be the comfier the seat, the more likely you are to round and collapse and sit on your tailbone, which is also, as well as not being good for your back, it's also not good for your pelvic floor, it's not good for your core strength, and that's why sitting is given such a bad rap. So rolling your pelvis forwards, so you're sitting on your sit bones. So some people can really overdo this and roll their pelvis too far forwards, so they're arching their back and doing a little bit of this. They're kind of being really good, yeah? They're sitting up straight and being really good. That can cause a lot of tension in the back as well. So if you're one of those people that lifts your chest and sits up really straight, you want to take your hands to your lower back and just smooth your back down. And you'll feel your abdominal muscles start to kick in. So if you're overarching your back, you want to smooth your hands down your back. And if you're slumping and you're still on your tailbone, then you want to smooth your hands up your back. And that will help you get that lift through your spine where you're moving away from the pelvis. You want to feel like your ribcage is moving away from the pelvis. So once you've found that right angle for your pelvis and your sit bones are down, pubic bone and tailbone are up away from the chair, then you can bring your attention to where is your weight in your sit bones. Is it pressing more through one sit bone or the other sit bone? I'll turn the chair the other way so you can see what effect that has. So making sure to sit down by bending the knees, using the thighs, reaching back and keeping the back of the neck long. So when you sit down, you want to look down. And then land yourself. And your feet a little bit wider than your hips, knees a little bit out. And then just check your weight through your feet. So if I'm pressing more into one foot, that's going to tilt me off to one side. This is me pressing into this foot. This is me pressing more into this foot. So that's going to change how my skeleton is aligning. And similarly, if I press more in at one sit bone, then I'm going to slump more into that side or into the other side. So can you get even? Feet pressures down, inner ball, outer ball, heel. Sit bones down equally, left to right. A little tilt forwards in your pelvis so that you're really on your sit bones and not your tailbone. Length and softness in your back. And then a feeling, and you can put your hands on your rib cage, of lifting your rib cage a little bit away from your pelvis so you can feel that length in your spine. And again, you want to check, is your head coming forwards? Are your shoulders rounded? Can you open across the chest? Can you lengthen in the back of the neck? And without tensing in your back. If you imagine a thread lengthening upwards at the top of the back of your head, and you imagine your head as a kind of a lotus flower, like just softly floating on the surface of a lake, and your spine, the stem of the lotus flower, and then your legs and your feet, the roots of the lotus flower underneath the lake, rooting down through the mud. And that can be a really, really good way to meditate. So meditating cross-legged is highly challenging for your back, for your sacrum, for your hips. I wouldn't recommend it. You'll spend more time feeling uncomfortable than getting the benefit of your meditation. So this is a really good way to meditate. Sitting in a chair, feeling your sit bones, feeling your feet on the ground, feeling that length in your spine, and imagining your skull, your head, as this lotus flower, just gently supported by the water of the lake. Okay, so that's all you need to know about sitting for your meditation practice, but also for your sitting in front of computers and sitting in front of the TV, sitting when you're traveling. Try to remember all of these points, and your spine and your back and your whole body will thank you.